Hey folks, lack of response here. Today we're going to be doing some size comparisons. Sorry about the black blade on a black background. I'm kind of working with what I got. I'll get this out of the way since it's not really meaningful. But we're going to look at some size comparisons. This here is just here for size comparison. That's the Winter Blade Co. Factor. But we're not talking about Winter Blade either. We are talking about PMP knives. My favorite knife maker, because they make the ridiculously ginormous things. Let's look at a few, shall we? Here is the one that I feel is the most usable in size, the PMP Alpha Smilodon. I'll let you see that up against the ruler. Here it is in hand. I got some in my eye, 2 seconds. Okay, there we go. It is not a super thick blade. It's actually kind of thin and textured, tall. This is actually the lightest one. It's the one I will carry and use most often because of those factors. But it's still huge, and I love it. Next up, slightly thicker boy. Maybe not as long, but more textured. The PMP Kodiak. Let's give that a nice spot by the ruler. And further along the path of impractical to carry, unwieldy to use, you gotta wear suspenders and a belt to keep your pants on, the PMP Titano. This is a much thicker knife, and it's got some lock stick on it. Let me move the Smilodon out of the way. These will be beefier than the Kodiak in tallness and length. Let's check this out. That doesn't want to stand up, fuck it. On thickness, yeah, I'm working on a bed. Nothing's going to stand up straight here. Okay. There we are on thickness. Comparable. Well, tell you what, let me put the camera down for 2 seconds. Yeah, I don't have a tripod. I do have calipers. So let's take a look here. And see what that does. Where's the camera lens as opposed to the rest of the camera? Okay, that's 5 somethings thick. Half of something? I don't know. I think that's on millimeters. Let me... Yeah, it's 5 millimeters thick. Is there a button that lets me change it out? Nope. Okay. So that's 5 millimeters thick. This is, yeah, it's, gotta put the camera down again. Okay, that's fine. Under 5, 4 millimeters thick. And the Alpha Smilodon beginning of my PMP knives addiction. Let me get us situated. Is the thinnest at about 3 millimeters thick. So that's those. And of course we want, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. There's one other one in the collection. Can you hear it? That, my friends, is the notorious PMP Alpha Beast. No lock stick. I think it has a lock bar insert. Let's look. Can we see in there? Yeah, it's a lock bar insert in there. And let's look at, oh yeah, that one will stand up just fine. Let's look at, oh, yeah, 9, 10, something like that, 10 millimeters thick. Definitely the thickest. And since the big brother will stand up straight, everybody else can kind of lean on them. Or not. Here we go, thickness comparisons, thinnest to thickest. Yeah, well, that happens. And let's kind of do a little arranging. Where we have the whole family together. In that dimension. That's what we're looking at. Overall thoughts on the Titano in comparison. That's my biggest gripe right there. It hangs up on the detent ball when you try to close it, which is annoying. It does. I want to say it does have a lock bar insert. Yeah, there we go. We can see a little bit of steel. But somehow it does have a lock stick. There we go. That finally dropped. Flipping action is not great, but that's okay. There we go. The Spidey flick it okay. Gotta gently move it past the detent ball. Or of course, you can just shake it open, that's easy enough. Good jimping. That edge right there, that front edge, I guess you could scrapey stuff if you want to go scrapey. Backspacer with a lanyard hole, flathead screws all over. There's that detent hole. There's the name Titano upside down. There's the blade steel M390. And if we look, what's that? Oh, that's the lock bar stabilizer. My other gripe is, it'll do it. There we go, it's doing it. That pocket clip is... First off, as you can see, the anode did not go around the pocket clip. So that's weird. And you can move the pocket clip a little because it's, maybe it's just, well, that standoff is not round, so it's weird. Maybe it just needs to be screwed in more. So yeah, not the best construction on a PMP. I've seen better from them. Like this one. No lock stick. Action feels a little gritty. I'm sorry, my glasses are falling off my face. That no lock stick, it drops nicely. Doesn't hang up on that detemp ball. Doesn't shake open either. I feel like this one is more carryable. And this one is the most carryable. It's the one I have carried the most, just because I've owned it longest. But even though it's got the weird little pokey thing on the back end, and the kind of pocket clip I hate with the screws that stand proud and two standoffs, it's still my favorite. The action is the best. The blade geometry is the closest to practical. And this one is, I think, the coolest because it is just the thickest, the most ridiculous. I can't carry this thing, my pants fall. There we go. Oh gosh, the sound it makes is a whole other world. And the same with that one. I do like the ergos on this. That handle is just, You know what it makes me think of? I want to grab it so we can compare. Excuse me, PMP family. The 80-20 a little, right? We got the little beaks there and the little beaks there because that has a flipper. But you got the same good little grippy bit. Is one other knife I want to bring out here for the comparison since we're talking about the big chunkies. And yes, that was an 80-20, not an 80-20.5. This is... I don't want to spoil a surprise yet. But let's put this here so you can compare. That's the 80-20. I don't think it says anything anywhere, maybe. And there, something. I think that's 20 CV. Yeah, it's 20 CV. That's the blade steel. But this is the 80-20, which most people think of as a big knife, and these are my big knives. I'm at a whole nother level of ridiculous hugeness just because this is kind of medium sized to me. It's comfortably big. There's one other big knife I wanted to get out here. You may have seen that little Midgard's Messer logo. You can probably guess what's coming. The Midgard's Messer Viking, which I can get the camera out of my face and just look. Is that a lock bar insert? Yeah, there's a lock bar insert in there. And this over travel stop somehow gets rotated in regular, like here's the loose version where you can disengage. My gripe is sometimes it gets rolled forward when the knife is closed, where it's difficult to open. If you loosen it, it'll shake open. Tell me those two aren't related. Tell me. You're be lying. But anyway. Here's all the PMPs and their German cousin from Midgard's Messer. Thought I'd share. Thank you. Bye-bye.